More footwork.
Hello everybody, welcome to a very special episode of the Player Issue Podcast Cave Sessions, episode number 20. I am your host, Aaron Warwick, and with me, as always, is the lovely Emma. G'day, Emma.
Hello.
One day you're going to give me more passion, more power.
Passion, more energy, more footwork.
Knew that would get you going.
You asshole, you knew I'd do it.
Before we get going, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment into the comment section below. I forgot to do it last week. I just chucked it in there,
Oh, no.
but I forgot to actually say it. So getting it out nice and early. Don't forget that we are here as often as we can be, so please support us by doing something really simple, giving it one of these, and just like the show. Subscribe to the show. We have 103 subscribers now, Em.
Ah,
Yep. And as much as my sister liked to subscribe to the show and then unsubscribe just
she
to
does
piss
it
us off,
weekly.
we now have 103. So even if it's her and Gav, her husband, and they drop out, we'll still have 100. So, but no, thank you very much to the new subscribers. We appreciate you watching the show. Hopefully we can bring something for you that you'll enjoy. And yes, I am very pink tonight.
Yeah, you're actually clashing a lot because pink and red don't go together.
I think they do.
Do you know why you're wearing pink? Because you wanted to start the show off with more passion, more energy.
As you can probably tell, Em's now stuck on something new. She's watched a video over the last hour, and now that will be getting the rounds around the Warwick household for the next couple of weeks.
Fucking TikTok.
We've said all along that you're obsessed with TikTok, and you're just proving it. But no, so before we get too far into the show, you probably would have noticed a couple of things around the room, a little bit different to usual. Right behind me, or to the side of me here, is you'll see a pretty scary looking fella. That is the Bray Wyatt Fiend belt, belt that they released and for tribute to Bray Wyatt when he was the Fiend character. Em actually bought that for me for Christmas or my birthday, one of the two. Christmas, a couple of years ago now, and amazing thing it is. I absolutely love it. A lot of people hate it, but something that I absolutely love. And there's a reason we have that around today. We also have the mask up here as well, up in the corner. That is the Fiend mask sitting on the bright red IKEA head, which we've had talked about before. There's a few other things as well. Just over there, you'll see his gloves. And there's a bag behind the microphone as well. So while we're talking about that today, I know we talk a little bit about wrestling when we're not a wrestling show. I know we are a football jumper show predominantly, but we do talk a little bit about wrestling. We do love a bit of wrestling. And there are some listeners out there who enjoy us talking about wrestling, so we'll continue to do so in small parts where we can. But this week we really want to do so for a very good reason. So the reason we have that particular theme going on around the room today is yesterday, for those watching at home. Yesterday would have been Friday. It is currently Saturday night, very late Saturday night, 11:14 p.m. But yesterday we woke up to the tragic news that Bray Wyatt, also played the character The Fiend, real name Wyndham Rotunda, tragically passed away via a heart attack on yesterday morning. So it was a super, super sad day for us. I think I was walking into work and I just opened my phone and seen stuff all over Facebook and messaged Em straight away and told her. And he was one of our favourites. I actually dressed up as The Fiend for Halloween a couple of years ago and scared the living shit out of a bunch of kids walking past the house and had great fun with it. We actually just missed him twice. Both times we went to America to watch a couple of shows, we missed him. The first time we went, he was just coming back from injury and he was returning as The Fiend, but he returned the following week after we actually went. So we did get to see a bit of vignettes leading up to his debut, which was really cool. The Firefly Funhouse.
Firefly.
Wow.
Firefly Funhouse.
Firefly Funhouse. If you haven't seen that, check it out. It's hilarious stuff, especially if you're a wrestling fan. There's got a lot of little nuggets in there which are fantastic. But we didn't get to see him, unfortunately. And then this time we went as well. This is kind of where it all started, unfortunately. His little downhill slide that he had, which led to his demise yesterday. We actually were excited to see him. We kept talking about how good it would be at WrestleMania to hear his music, because his music is always chilling and great. And just him as a character would be amazing to see. And I think it was only a couple of weeks before we were heading over there for WrestleMania, they announced that he was taking indefinite leave due to personal injury or illness. And no one knew what that injury or illness was. He has had issues with depression in the past, so people were speculating, of course. But now that he has passed away, it has been, I guess, unveiled that he was suffering from a heart condition, and he caught COVID earlier in the year, which exacerbated that, and unfortunately had a heart attack yesterday, which killed him. So extremely sad. I know when I was at work, I kept it all together and I was fine. But then as soon as I sat in my car and started watching a few videos and started talking or thinking about what we're going to talk about on the podcast here, I wasn't as kept together. And then we just watched SmackDown just before we come onto the show, so we knew what happened there, and that was also very chilling. I was fine during the 10-bell salute, but as soon as the crowd started chanting or singing, he had the whole world in his hands, that started to tear up at that point. But good show. Tribute to Bray Wyatt, this show is. Apologies that this is going on a little long, probably, but we feel it's out of respect for Bray and all fans around the world that we do him justice. And we just want to share a little video with you as well. This is one of the very last things he ever did. But this was something he come out post-Fiend character when he was actually making his return to WWE back in January. And he actually came in as himself because he had come back from depression at this point. And he really tributed the fans and his family at WWE for helping him come back. And I think the video speaks for itself and is really powerful. So we would like to share that with you, and then we'll move on with the rest of the show. Please enjoy. Hopefully you do watch it. Don't just skip through it, preferably, but it's up to you. Enjoy.
I'm incredibly grateful, and I'm really, really nervous to be here. I never thought this would happen. And this right here, this is just me, okay? Yeah, this is a version of me that I've never got to introduce to you guys before. This is just me being me, genuine me for the first time. And I just want to share with you, this past year in my life, I lost a lot of things. I lost my career. I love you too. I lost my career. I lost my self-confidence. I lost two people who were very, very close to me. And I lost my way. And I got to a point where I thought that everything that I'd ever done here or otherwise, I thought it was all meaningless. Nothing I ever did has mattered to anyone. And I was wrong. I was wrong. Once I was done feeling sorry for myself, and I decided to go out in the world again and see people. There were people everywhere. They would say, "Thank you, Bray, man. When you coming back home?" And then every once in a while, there would be someone I would meet that's truly remarkable, and you know who you are. But these people, they would come to me. They would come to me and they would say, "Bray, I just wanted to thank you, man, because I was in a time of need, and I lost people that were close to me, and I lost my self-confidence, and I felt weak, and I felt vulnerable. And in this wicked state, I found your words, Bray. I found your words, and I just wanted to thank you, man. You saved my life, Bray." The truth is, I don't think about stuff like that. And the thing about that is that I can sit here right now today and I can look all of you in the eyes and I can say that you were there when I was weak, when I was vulnerable, when I was down. So I just wanted to say thank you.
There you go. Super sad. And Em's actually losing it over there. So she's exactly feeling the way I did when I sat in the car after work, and I watched that video that someone posted on Twitter, or X it's called now, and I remembered watching that live, and it got me then when he was still alive. So to see that after he'd passed was awful, but very powerful. And it just goes to show that he was able to make a comeback from his depression issues, and he was able to help people. As a matter of fact, we actually, as we were coming into the room today, I looked at Facebook and I saw a bunch of people sharing messages that they had with Bray and how they were saying that they were struggling with their depression, and he helped them through it just by saying that you're beautiful and you're loved and you're fantastic and you're strong, and that was it. It's all he had to say. So something that he didn't have to do, but he did, and he just seemed like a tremendous human being. And we just wanted to pay tribute to Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda, on here today, because I feel like it's worthwhile doing, and we want to make sure that anyone out there who is suffering from depression does speak to people, or speak to family, friends, whatever, it doesn't matter, because you can go through it. And if you do have heart issues, please go and seek specialists' opinions, because anything can happen. He was aged 36 years old. It's very sad. Anything you want to share before we move on about Bray Wyatt?
My gosh. Remember we watched that live too.
Yeah. It's funny, we actually knew that he was coming back from those issues, because it was announced, or not. It was not well known that he had these issues when he went away. He asked for his release in WWE and went away and dealt with these issues, and they brought him back. So, and he even said in that interview that he never thought he'd come back, that he probably didn't even think he was worthy of coming back. But people made him known that he was definitely worthy, and it was great that he did, and got to experience him at least one more time. But yeah, Em's lost it. It's hard. I didn't expect to start off the show quite so heavy, so we'll move on. But rest in peace, Bray Wyatt, and thank you for the years of entertainment. You were one of my favorites for sure. Okay. Enough of the heavy stuff, Em. Let's gather ourselves, and we'll move on to the footy. First of all, feedback from last week's episode. I thought it was a great episode. I had a lot of fun doing it. No feedback at all about your camera. So
Nah.
we changed your angle, your look, everything. Yeah, I thought it looked great. Still think it does. Your colours look fantastic. But nothing. No one said whether they liked it or not. So we'll
Bougie.
continue going with it. But we do have a bunch of feedback, though. So unlike the week before, where we didn't have anything to read out because there was no feedback at all, we have a bunch of feedback this week. So thank you, everybody, for sharing your feedback, and we can actually read it out. First one we'll share is Dave Causey on YouTube said, thanks for the shout out. Looking forward to taking the prize. Chickens counted.
Chickens counted was in like capital letters too.
He also said, PM sent for Nick Nat only if it comes with a COA and photo match. Do you remember the Nick Nat that I'm talking about?
Yeah. He also commented on the actual Facebook page.
Commented on. Calm down, mate. Calm down.
No, but it was about the Monday thing.
Actually, no, I don't even have that comment.
So he, unless it's been deleted, but he commented on another comment on the Facebook page, and he said, "Have you decided who wins the David Mundy thing yet?" And I said, "No, I'm still trying to decide who I like the most." I said, "I'll get back to you in 7 to 10 business days."
We still haven't decided what to do with it. You can see it's over there. Until we figure out what to do, it's going to live there for a while.
Convenient, that, isn't
it? Dave normally sits there as well.
Nah, booted him.
But he's been messing with my camera. I keep going blurry because it keeps focusing on Dave's head. So you might see his hand popping out behind the Fiend's head, actually. He's just over there, hidden. So he'll be hiding for the rest of the shows, I think, because he keeps trying to take center stage, and we can't have that. So also a comment from me. Yep, at me, not me, but at me on YouTube.
Your sister.
Also known as my sister. Said the tailgate pops open when someone gets in the back seat too. Actually, she said took, but nice work, Christy. What she means there was we're talking about the car, my new car, if you don't remember it. I'll put up a photo for you. So when I took my sister and my brother-in-law for a drive, we got in the front. My sister and myself were in the front, and Gav, my brother-in-law, jumped in the back. And he's just like, what the fuck? He's freaking out. And I'm looking around going, what is your problem? And he's like, there's fucking ghosts in here or something. And I'm like, what? And we look and the tailgate had popped open. And he's like, oh, the tailgate just pops open by itself. What's going on? I actually had the keys in my pocket because you don't need keys for these new fancy cars. You just have them in your pocket and automatic start, all that. But I must have leant on the boot open. And it popped open the boot and he shit himself. So hilarious stuff. And yeah, pops open when someone gets in the back seat, apparently. Thankfully, it has not happened again. I can also tell the car itself to shut the boot instead of having to get out and press the button now. So we figured that out. What's its new name, actually, Em? You named it something. Skittles. It couldn't work out Switter. We named it Switter for some reason and couldn't work it out. So we named it Skittles, and it seems to be all right with Skittles. Fresh, which is also Matt Harvey on the YouTube.
What a pimpin' name.
He's also Fresh Sports Collection, I think it is, on Instagram as well.
But he's just fresh.
Just fresh. The fresh maker. I saw that, Nick Nat. I was going to buy it as a joke.
Yes.
Not the unique type that I'm after.
Oh, bullshit, no.
So you did mention that he should
quality.
Buy it. Yeah, it's not that it's unique, Matt. It's absolute quality.
It's quality and it's in mint condition.
Yeah.
Mint.
It's amazing. It was cheap. It's like $30 or $20.
I'll give you the $25, you cheap bastard.
I reckon someone's bought it. It's not there anymore. So
no.
Stuff.
It's got to be Matt.
Also fresh said Doug McDermott NBA player ? Yes, that is correct. If you watch the video version, I did put the little asterisks up and say NBA player, you goose, because I just couldn't, for the life of me, remember the name of the person I was trying to think of. And thinking back right now, no idea what I was even talking about. I just remember Doug McDermott.
You know Doug.
Huh?
You know Doug.
I know Doug, yeah.
Good guy.
I didn't even see the name.
What?
This is fantastic. Another one from Stupid White Cracker 218.
Oh, God.
I hope it's the Cracky. Is it the Cracky? That Port Adelaide Power Guernsey is the original from '97 when they first joined the comp. In regards to the retro jumper that they wore. Thank you, stupid white cracker. I really hope you're the cracky because that would be fantastic.
I don't think he has that much knowledge, to be honest.
Or he doesn't know how to get on the YouTube. Doug McCaig.
You know, Doug.
I know Doug.
Yeah,
Doug,
good guy.
also known as Dermot McCaig, said, yeah, credits to Tommy on that one. Definitely will have to get me out of my shell. In regards to how we mentioned that Doug was very quiet. And
he was
Tommy,
only quiet because he was upset. Someone upset him. And to be fair, we just kept giving him shit for it the entire day too.
We did. Adelaide Crows are the best. Said, very nice from M to say that. Not exactly sure what you said that was very nice, but you said it.
When I said about someone scamming Andy Munro, and I was like, how dare you? Like, I was like, yeah.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Let us know. Adelaide Crows are the best. Exactly what was very nice that M said. However, sadly, her Mail Day impression isn't as good. Well, we know that because nothing's as good as what the Andy Munro.
I'm working on it. All right? I'm taking vocal lessons for it.
Yes, nothing will ever beat Andy, but we are trying our very best. Jordan Coates also said, I'm definitely not a massive fan of the display boxes from OM, official memorabilia. Received the old style with my Hawks Anzac, which came damaged, and got a replacement for a new one. I find the new style a lot better and not as easy to get broken, and also the stickers on the box. Both times the toll driver, or TGE, which is Team Global Express now, stupid name, said it was only a Hawks jumper inside. So even the drivers, when they're dropping it off, know what's in the box. So stupid idea, OM.
Very easy
What are you
way
doing?
for things to go missing.
Yes, don't do that, OM. If you're watching, and I have a feeling one of you are, and I'll get to that later. Hello, by the way, if you are watching.
If you ask a stupid idea and stop fucking doing it.
And lastly, Brisbane Bear AFL VFL collection said, great episode, thumbs up. Double thumbs up, as a matter of fact. So thank you to the Brisbane Bear AFL VFL collection, which I believe is Mick Rush. Guest of the show as well. Check it out in the old archives of the audio show. Way back.
Back in your day.
Back in the old days. We had a good chat about Brisbane Lions and the Brisbane Bears. Anyway, thanks for all your feedback. If you have any more feedback for the show, you can either drop it in the comments below, or you can go to our Facebook page, you can go to our Instagram page. You can send us a message if you like and let us know your feedback. Next up, we are going to recap on last week's Freo Finest Night Out. So we were talking last week about how we were sponsored by Z Entertainment. He hooked us up with a couple of tickets to go to the show as well, which was with Alex Pearce, Luke Ryan, and Lockie Schultz. Where
I have something in my eye. You're going to have to carry this on without me. I'll be back, people.
Well, you're not going to notice because I'm going to cut it and edit, and next minute she's back. But I guess we'll take a break. But for you, I guess it's like that. All right, Em's back. Not that you're aware of it, but she was gone for about 5 minutes. So we've had a bit of chocolate. Get us back going again. And we were talking about our recap of last week's Freo's Finest Night Out by Z Entertainment, which we were sponsored by for last week's episode. So thanks again, and shout out to Alan Zanich for that one. It was a good night. We had a lot of good fun. I actually bought a jumper as well, which I didn't expect. Usually when you go to these sort of sportsman's night outs or any of these auction nights, which it turned out to be, people usually go nuts. They usually spend a ton of money. And I was never expected myself to get caught up in it. They started pulling the auction stuff, and it was just pictures and more pictures and pictures and pictures. And then they pulled out a Luke Ryan double red Woodside back. 2022 match one jumper out, signed by Luke as well. They started the bidding at $250, which is cheap. This guy's an All-Australian, likely going to be multi-time All-Australian by the time his career's over. 200-plus gamer, superstar of the game. $200 he got down to because no one bid. And I was so tempted, but something told me just don't bid. Don't do it. So I didn't. And no one bought it, which was pretty crazy. I thought, at this point, this crowd is only here for the signed photo memorabilia stuff, which was really weird because they were bidding
They were
high.
going nuts for that stuff.
Yeah, they were bidding higher on this memorabilia stuff, and for some reason they didn't want something that I believe is worth more money in the jumper that was actually worn by the player. So I'm glad I didn't bid on it because the very next thing that came out was Alex Pearce's 2022 retro jumper that he had personally given to the auction that night and signed on the back as well. Back, front? Front. They actually said it was signed front and back, but it wasn't. So I'll have to catch up with Alex and get him to sign on the back as well. But anyway, I saw this jumper. As soon as I saw it in this dude's hand, I was like, if that's a retail sign, that's cool. But I'm not interested. And then he's pulled up, and I seen it, 25, match worn Alex Pearce. I was like, oh, shit, I'm in trouble here. And started the bidding at 200. Immediately, my hand went up. I was like, yep. I was like, oh, shit, did I just bid on something at an auction?
It's funny, though, because the guy that was running it, obviously he knows you, but he was just like, to you, Aaron? And I was just like, he knows. Like, he knew you were going to bid on that.
We were all the way at the back of the room. Like, there was all these seating at the front, and then we were standing on a table at the very, very back where no one else was. So he's just yelling out from across the room, that one you? Yep. All right. Someone then bid 250, and without even a thought, my hand was up. Yep.
You were like living like this full like auction, you've been watching those auction shows and you were full just like, yep. Like you were just full going for it, weren't you?
And in my head, I was like, I'm not going any further. I can't do this. It's going to go way too high. And so my thought was, all right, if someone bids 350, I'm probably out.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started thinking, this jumper's worth a lot more than this. And the captain of the club, he captained the club that night as well, even though he wasn't the captain at the time. But he did captain us in that game. And I thought, well, this jumper's fantastic. I probably will keep bidding. And then no one kept bidding on me. So $300 was what I paid for that 2022 match worn Anzac Alex Pearce retro jumper. And I was stoked with that. I couldn't believe that I'd won it. It's funny, actually, they pulled out the picture of Luke Ryan ripped jumper from the front. And he yelled out, Aaron, you've got this jumper, don't you?
You're like, shut up. Yeah.
I think he was trying to bait me into bidding for that picture.
But I don't know. Those pictures, they're cool, but where are you going to put them?
It was well done. It was a very nice picture, very nice frame.
Pictures, but it's just, where we put them, we never end up hanging them on the walls. Like, we've got multiple pictures and stuff around here, and we haven't put them up. There's only so many of that thing that you can have unless you have like a dedicated room to it, and there's just too much in here for you to hang them on the walls.
Yeah. So I didn't bid on it. I was tempted, but I didn't. I went for 300 or 350 as well, so it didn't go very high.
Some girl got it.
Yeah. She was stoked.
Oh yeah, she was pretty happy with it.
I was pretty happy that she got that because she was stoked with it. But I was absolutely stoked with my winnings of the Alex Pearce. We then got a photo with the three lads. Lockie Schultz actually came out and said hello to us before the show. He didn't realise we were there, but popped up to the bar and saw us and gave us all... This is funny, actually. I'm going to share it. He gave me... he shook my hand. I forgot to introduce Matt, but then he turned to you, and it was very awkward, but eventually... I think he shook your hand, did he?
No.
Nothing?
I was just like, oh, hey, Em. And I was like, oh, yeah, hey, how you going? Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway... I'll tell it afterwards. But Lockie said g'day, and he was getting his dinner. And he apologised again profusely for missing us at the change room after the game, after the derby. He said, I'm so sorry I missed you. I feel really bad. But do you want another shot at it? I was like, what? He said, do you want to come back again next week for the retro, after the retro game? I'll give you another couple of passes. You can come back and I'll come say hello to you after the game. And I was like, oh, sure. So... he did. He gave us the passes. And we waited again after the game for him. And nothing. We saw him pop his head out with his retro hat on. And then gone. So we didn't see him again. We missed him again.
He is preparing to go to Africa, though. So he had a lot of shots and stuff to do. And
yeah, he messaged me pretty much straight away afterwards and said, I'm so sorry. Well, wasn't in those words, but... he was very disappointed in himself that he didn't come see us. But yes, he was getting a tetanus shot. What's it called? Vaccination shot, essentially, to go to Africa.
Yeah.
and physio and all that. So he was in there for a fair while, and I guess he probably thought we'd just left, and he left. But anyway, missed him again. But the funny thing is that you are so awkward with these players because you are so confused as what to
Stop.
do. Even when we went to
Yeah.
get the photos, all of the boys knew us, every single one of them. So Luke was the first
Luke
one.
saw me because I walked in, and then we were like, "Oh, it's okay. We'll let these people go ahead of us." And straight off, he was like, "Oh, hey, how you going?" Like
Yeah.
he knew who I was. Yeah, and
Started having a full
yeah.
conversation with us, even though someone else was standing there waiting to have a photo with him. Who I felt so bad. I was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm messing your photo up here." And then we went up, got a quick photo with the lads. I gave Lockie a good big hug. And then afterwards, you said to me, "You're like, what do I do next time?" It's confusing. I don't really know what to do because you know the boys, but every time you meet them, you're always confused whether you should give them a handshake, one of these. I don't even know what you call it, a man
Women
shake,
don't do that.
or
We don't do that.
or a hug. And I said, "Well, you know the boys now. Give them a hug." He's a Fruit Loop. He will definitely hug you. Alex is just a big, gentle giant. He'll give you a hug. And Shooter loves a hug. So go in for a hug, I reckon, every time.
It's just weird.
I think the fact that you know the lads, you can quite happily go in for a hug.
We know each other, but we're not like friends, so it's just weird. I don't know. It felt even weirder going down the line, being like, "Hey, hey, hey." Like I know all of you, but here we are.
I think we were the last or second last photos. I can't remember, but yeah, we waited till the end and it was good.
I need to know, hug or a handshake. I don't know what to do.
Well, there you go. There's some feedback you can give us.
Hug or a
Do
handshake.
you go in for a hug or handshake if you know a player? Maybe not on.
Yeah, just like, someone that you sort of know, and like if I'll say for instance, Blake, and I just go in for a hug. Is he just like really that like acquainted with each other? That's where I'm never mind.
Did you hug him when we met him last
No.
year? No.
I don't even think I shook his hand. It was just a hey. I'm just awkward.
Yeah.
I don't hug people.
I was going to say, at first instances with you and a lot of other people, it is awkward.
I was even like that when I met your basketball team for the first time.
So let us know, hug or a handshake or just a wave. Hello, how you going? Let us know what you think, what you do if you know them a little bit. Would you go in for a hug? Would you go in for a full grope? Let us know.
You and Schultz bloody groped each other.
Yeah, we're having a bit of a hug at the end
Surprised
of
you didn't do the whole like fling him to the side type,
I was just happy that I was taller than him because for some reason I thought we were about the same height.
I think I told you though, didn't I, that Alex Pierce accidentally as he put his hand down at he slapped me on the ass and he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and I was like, "Move on, let's just take the photo."
Yeah, so great night, good photo. Love the actually it was hilarious. The lads did a bit of a Q&A, I guess, or a bit of a chat with Paul Hazelby, and it was hilarious. Some of the things that they were saying, which they probably wouldn't share anywhere outside of that room, hence why they said no videography. But some of the things that they said were hilarious, and their thoughts on Rory Lobb, I thought Luke Ryan's thoughts was absolute gold. And there was a few other things as well they mentioned, but we won't get into it. But if you are thinking about going to any of those nights, especially Alan's
Oh, it was
Z
good
Entertainment,
fun.
make sure you go because it is a great time and it's good.
They also, instead of having the live auction, they had like a couple of tables set up and paper, and it was like opening bid. And because you and Matt both walked away with something. You walked away with the jersey from the live auction, and Matt walked away with a framed picture from the other one. Yeah, which they did at the end of the night. Yeah.
Yeah. So he won a silent auction bid, which was pretty cool because why do you smile at me?
Oh, nothing. Carry on. That's fine.
I know what Em wants to say. But anyway, so Matt, he was freaking out because I don't think he'd ever bid on anything in an auction like this either.
he thought someone had outbid him and he walked over. He's like, "Someone's outbid me." He's like, "That's it." So you can tell it because you were there.
Yeah. So the whole time we were sitting there listening to the lads have a chat, he would keep looking over just to look at the table, see if anyone had been up there. And there was a couple of boys that were hovering around that picture for a while and they kept talking about it. Probably just the fact that they were in the crowd and they were trying to see if they could see themselves. But anyway, Matt just thinking that everyone was bidding on it against him. He waddles over there to have a look, has a bit of a look from a distance, turns around, he's like, someone's outbid me. And I'm just like, damn, that sucks. I'll go have a look and see how much they bid.
While you're looking at the bid, he comes up to me and he's like, max I'm going to spend on it is this. Like, he was full, like, ready to put another bid on. He's like, this is the max I'm willing to go to, Emma. And then you've just come around the corner and was like, hey, Emma.
I was like, hey, bro, you've outbid yourself, you dickhead. He's like, what? I'm like, no one's bid against you.
It's you.
You had already bid, and then you've gone bid again. You've outbid yourself. He's like, oh, shit. Idiot. But so he was freaking out. At the end of the night, they pulled him down and actually said that the person that won it wasn't there. And Matt, we all, I think at the same time,
I'm
jumped.
standing right next to him.
Yeah, we're all just standing there just going, yeah, nah, Matt won it. And he's here. He's
I did call him out. Fucking didn't.
Yeah.
I'm standing right next to you.
He was yelling. He was calling Gerald or Gary or something.
He was like, Gary's not here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, well, this isn't it. Because it was quite weird because he was holding that piece of paper. So we're like, what the hell is he calling this guy for? And then at the end, he was like, this Matt's not here. And we're like, yeah, he is. Like, he's right here. He wants it. So he ended up getting it. But you may tell the story that you so gladly want to tell.
And if she watches the show, you know who you are. This bitch.
Oh, God.
This bitch. Like, okay, I get that, like, you know, if there's something there. So on these tables that you bid on, there was some really nice stuff. And this picture was kind of
meh.
Meh is the word. I don't say trash.
Yeah, it wasn't trash.
It wasn't great. It wasn't the best picture there. And anyway, so when they finished doing the talks and that, and the boys had gone, they were like, all right, we're going to tally up these in 5 minutes. If anyone wants to make any last bids, go for now. And so the picture is, say, behind her. Say this jumper is the picture, and she puts herself in front of the table. I'm not moving. No one's bidding on this. This is mine. And I just went, don't be
a... Thanks for that.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about that. Well, I literally said that, didn't I?
You actually did.
Fucking... And yeah, and she's just like, no, I'm not moving. I want this. It's mine. No one's bidding on it. People kept trying to like walk around her and she was just like, nope. And I just went, you're a fucking bitch, hey. And I was the whole time giving it to her, wasn't I? I was like, you're a fucking bitch. Yeah. I was like, no one wants your fucking picture anyway. Fuck off, you stupid old bitch. And I was going off and Erin's like...
I was literally, calm down.
See what the picture was. And then she's like, I got it. And she's doing this. And I was like, oh, that's fucking awful. I was like, are you serious? You can fucking have it. No one wants it, you stupid cow. So if you watch the show... Like, do you know what? You could have just said to people, like, hey, like, I really want this. Do you, like, you know, could you please not bid on it? But this is the way you stood there, like, your fucking own shit don't stink. Emma's rage. Like, your own shit don't stink. Like, and you just stood there like, no one's getting around me. Do you know what? And you were like, oh, and that was the worst thing as well. She's like, everyone's scared of the old lady. No one wants to go near you because the picture's trash. No one wanted that picture but you. You paid $170-something for something that I bought my dad not that long ago for less than $50. So
probably about $20.
Well, don't be a dick.
I just remembered. Actually, just remember something that Dave Causey sent me that he wanted me to read out. So we'll do that later.
Okay.
And it made me remember that because he
Can
said
I have some chocolate after that? I really need something.
We are sponsored this week by Top Deck Chocolate. It is our favourite in the household. Dave Causey actually sent me through something he wants me to read out as part of the Don't Be a Dick category. So,
But she really fell in that category. So I'm glad I've opened it up so Dave can add his 2 cents worth in. Dave, she was a dick.
She was a dick. It was actually, it was pretty embarrassing when a couple of kids, probably no older than 15, 16, started walking towards her and she's like, no, go away. Go away. This is mine. It's like, wow, that's rude and very embarrassing.
There's ways to go about it. You could have literally just said, like, I really want this. Could you not bid on it? Would that be okay? It was the way you stood there.
Yeah, she was a bit of a cow. But don't do that at auctions, on auction night, silent auctions, anything. It's all fair game. If you don't have enough money and you think you're going to get outbid, then sorry. That's your problem.
Stupid old bitch. I hope you watch this show. If you hear me.
Early Emma's Rage this week, so thanks for that, Em. I'm glad you enjoyed that. So we had a
Stupid
great
bitch.
night. Thanks to Z Entertainment again.
No, you guys were great. It was so much fun.
Yeah, we did have a fantastic
Mhm.
night. We
Mhm.
appreciate the tickets. Appreciate
Just
the
don't
photos.
invite that bitch again.
She didn't spend much money, so I don't know if you want to anyway.
Yeah.
You'll see behind, actually, we didn't mention it earlier. You'll see behind Em's head on the right of her head. Yep, good job, Em. She usually gets her left and rights wrong, so I'm
That's
actually
why I did it really slowly.
proud. Is a bit of a basketball theme. I know that sounds a bit stupid because, again, we're a predominantly Freo football. I know I just said Freo, and I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that. Predominantly a football jumper, football jumper show. But we are staying on theme this week. Obviously, the Matildas last week couldn't get the job done, but Australia will continue. The Boomers World Cup actually started yesterday. It was yesterday? Thursday? Friday. So we are continuing that theme with a Paddy Mills Australian Boomers jersey. And then Em decided she wanted to have something else pink up there as well. And that's the pink breast. It's got breast friends written on it. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Can't remember what they call the pink night, but yeah, that's pretty cool. It is a pink jersey, and as it so happens, I am also wearing pink.
I made a joke and said, "Hey, put on the pink jumper," and here he is. So,
yep,
I'm sorry.
Yep. So it's a very pink show today. Yeah. Anyway, and also to Lem's left is something that she really wanted to make sure was on display this week, as she mentioned last week.
Pretty sure this stands out better than the Freo one.
Wow, that's still harsh, I think. But it is definitely growing on me. And I said I just didn't like it. I don't like it quite a few times, but it is growing. I said it's growing. I didn't say I love it. I don't. It's still not better than Port Adelaide's, at least. I'm not even sure it's better than the Freo one, but
Stands out better than the Freo one.
I don't know if it does. But no, I don't mind it. It does look pretty nice. But Port Adelaide has that covered by some distance. Anyway.
I like my new jersey.
Also, just on the footy today, West Coast will be absolutely celebrating because they lost. And North Melbourne had a win. So there was a week there where West Coast said that they don't care if they don't get number one draft pick.
Really?
And then this week, they've got it back again. So North Melbourne had a big win today against Gold Coast, and I don't think too many supporters will actually be happy with that win because of that. They lose Harley Reid. Unless West Coast decide not to pick them. Not to pick Harley Reid, because he has not really... I don't think he's actually come out and said that he doesn't want to come here, but there has been reports of that exact fact, that he just simply doesn't want to come to WA or play for West Coast. So you never know. They may not even pick him. We'll see what happens. They may even do a trade for that number one pick. I don't know. There is actually a question later on. Well, we're not going to read it out because I'm just going to answer it here. Ryan, I'm not even going to attempt to say your last name, but Ryan wanted to know if we would have a segment on trade targets. We're not going to do that. I'm sorry, Ryan. Simply because we're more of a jumper podcast, where we talk more about the match one player issue jumpers. And also, we just don't really know enough about the trade targets because we don't really look outside of our own club all that often. So, no, we don't want to even attempt to give that a crack because what we'll say is more than likely going to be 99% wrong. So, as much as you probably enjoy the entertainment side of it and how terribly awful our opinion is, we're not even going to give it. We might get some little shots here and there when trade period starts because we watched a couple of the shows on Amazon. I can't remember what the show was called, but great show. And you saw how much some people were a real piece of shit during those. But anyway, that's another shout out to Rory Lobb. Continue on. So thanks for the night we had. We also went fishing after the game on Saturday night, last Saturday. Sunday, we went fishing. Great view. Fantastic view, as you'll see in the pictures that I've put up. Unfortunately, the view was about the best we got because we didn't catch anything.
Oh, they were messing with us.
As a matter of fact, I may have got a bite or two. I also feel like it might have been some crabs nibbling on it.
Yeah, Dad said there might have been crabs too, yeah.
So
those fish were messing with us. we'd cast out and then the fish would jump like right next to us and we'd pull it in and cast it there and then they'd jump over there. Then we'd cast over there and then they'd jump over there. And then it pissed down on us.
That was actually hilarious because the weather was perfect.
Yeah.
There was not an ounce of wind at all. It was like still as anything. So it was on the borderline of being cold and not because there was no wind. So it was okay. It was actually a really, really nice night. And then we were sitting there going, this isn't happening for us. We're not catching anything. We're barely getting a bite. The fish really are messing with us. Like we knew fish were there because they were jumping all around us, but nothing even going near our food, our bait. But Em just looks to her right and goes, I think we should leave. I was like, why? So it's all right. We're having a good time. And she's like, no. The rain's coming. I said, what? What are you talking about? There's no rain coming. And just look down the river. So we're in a channel, an inlet. Look down the river and you can see up the under the other end of the river, the rain was hitting the water quite hard and it was coming towards us. So Em's like, let's go. She didn't grab anything. She just wound her line in, grabbed her rod and took off. And I'm sitting there going, shit. I've got to get my line in. Got to go get the esky and then bolt. And she's already at the car waiting.
But you had the keys, so I'm under a tree like this and it's coming through the tree. We were soaked.
Yeah, so it came down very quickly out of absolutely nowhere and very hard. So we got drenched in a very short period of time.
And then we got in the car and it stopped.
Yeah, Suits got the car, no more. And luckily, heated seats got us nice and dry, nice and quickly. But it's awful being wet. I hate it. Ugh.
I had wet socks.
Yeah,
because I had no shoes on because I took my shoes off.
That is the worst. We did get to spend some time in the rooms, as we mentioned. So we got a nice couple of close-up photos with a couple of retro jumpers, which was really, really cool to see them up close. I wanted to get a lot of photos of the jumpers because it'd be cool to see if anybody shares pictures of their retro jumpers, if there are some stains that match up with the jumpers pictures that we got. But I only took a couple. So if whoever got Tom Emmett, and Carl Warner, I have a couple of pictures you might want to see because they were up nice and close. So it would be really, really cool. Great time spent in there, even though it was a last game of the year, so it was still good fun. So shout out to Lockie Schultz for that. We appreciate you for getting us in the rooms again. Now, there's a little segment that we're going to do now and hopefully in the future, but I need your help. I need you to start sending me some stuff because I struggle to find stuff on social. Or you know what the problem is? I'll see something really funny. Unlike you save everything to show me. I don't save anything. I see something, laugh at it, and I forget about it. Literally forget about it immediately. So I started to save some stuff this week because I just want to start sharing it. So if you see something funny or just something you think that we should see or share on the show, we'll call this the What We've Seen on Social Media segment. So I'll just share 3 things. And it's something we've actually talked about previously. And this, honestly, these aren't even funny. So this is just a little starter. Now, we've talked about people wearing their jumpers at the footy before. And I guess everybody has their own opinions about it. But this week, Dale Gavrilovich, and I hope I got your name right. Dale's a legend. He's a good man. He was wearing his Nick Nat Nui player issue, potentially match one, I'm not 100% sure, but he was wearing his player issue Nick Natanui to the game last week when West Coast beat the Bulldogs. He even put up the picture, which we're showing you now. He put up the picture saying everybody probably thinks he's an idiot or whatever. I can't remember what he said. But he was happy to wear it in support of Nick Nat for his last couple of weeks. So, yeah, fair enough. I think that's probably an acceptable time to wear something like that. Everyone has their opinions. Actually, Em was actually wearing also a player issue jumper last week when we went to the FREO'S Port Adelaide game. She was wearing the 2001 Brad Bootsma long sleeve jumper. So the same jumper design that they wore on that night as well. So it's actually funny watching her trying to keep things away from it to not dirty the jumper. So she did a good job. Didn't get anything on it at all. Well done, Dale. Good on you, mate. Also, the next thing I saw, and I've asked people this before, and we've tried a couple of times, people buying jumpers at the footy. Now, we've seen Andy Munro do it with a Port Adelaide jumper back in the start of the season. or last year even. Can't remember now. But Heath O'Donovan, another previous guest of the show on the audio version, he bought a Joe Danaher 2017 Dreamtime jumper at the footy off the guy's back. So the photo sharing with you now is him sharing that on social media. Well done. It's a pretty big jumper. Joe Danaher, still not beloved anymore by Essendon fans, but I know Heath adores Joe still. And anytime you can buy a good jumper at the footy, it's an absolute win. So if you've done that, if you've bought a jumper, send us a photo. Ideally, if you have a photo of it at the game that you've bought it, and even with the person that you bought it off, that's tremendous, as Heath has done so here. Send them on through. If you do see somebody else's, let us know as well. And the last thing we'll share, again, not something funny, sadly. Hopefully I'll have some funny videos for
I
you
always
later.
have funny videos. You're just going to need to ask me.
Is a little bit of a cult jumper. I think this is going to be a cult jumper. You may not know of it now, but this one was an SGI branded West Coast Eagles jumper. Now, they did this when SGIO were going to change their logo from SGIO to SGI. So the jumpers got made up with this logo. It didn't last very long. As a matter of fact, it lasted for the photo shoot that West Coast did for their new jumpers for the year, and then it got scrapped. So this makes these jumpers super rare. And in future, these are going to be extremely sought after and valuable. Now, Dale's had this up for sale a few times, and it's quite cheap. Last I saw it was $375, which I think is a bargain for something that's going to be extremely sought after because there's going to be very few of them. So if you do see something like this, an SGI jumper, or you see something of another club that is extremely rare, I'd probably implore you to jump on it as soon as possible because they're not going to be easy to find and they'll be very, very valuable. So yeah, that's what I've seen on social media in literally the last 2 days because that's when I decided to come up with that. But we would like to continue doing that in the future. Hopefully with some funny stuff. Em, I know you're enjoying yourself over there, just having a scroll through
Just
social
trying to see if
media.
I could find any funny things that I'd saved recently.
Surely you've got something to share with us that we can. All right, Em's found a funny video. We're going to send us off this segment with this video. We'll have another video for you each week. Ideally, if you guys see a good one that you think we should put up, we'll put up one video per week. Send it on in, and we'll share it on the segment. Otherwise, Em will share some of her funny stuff that she sees on TikTok because there's plenty of it.
And you'll either find it funny or you won't find it funny. This one gets me every time, though.
All right, so enjoy the video. I have pissed myself laughing at it many, many times, so enjoy it, and we'll be back shortly for the next segment. That was what we have seen on social media.
Oh, no, here we go, mate. Oh, here we go. There we go, Chip. Watch your head. There we go, buddy. Hang on, mate. Jonathan Brown's pockets. You always have your pockets full of rubbish.
All right. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully the segment will be much better in weeks to come. Before we move on to what the recent auctions are and what we've seen current and has just recently ended, because there are so many going on right now. We will do one of Em's favourite segments, probably the favourite segment. Em, it is now time for...
Mail day?
Mail day.
Sorry, I wasn't quite prepared for it. I didn't quite... Hang on.
Let's try that again, shall we? Em, it is now time for your favourite segment of the show. It is time for...
Mail day.
It is indeed mail day, and that wasn't too bad. Well, I think Adelaide Crows are the best. You'd probably agree that wasn't a bad effort. She's been trying. Anyway, we've got a few mail days this weekend. I think we've had none, and we've had one, and we've had 0, and none, and 1. Well, we've actually got a bunch this week, so...
Which Erin has opened.
Shut up. You're not supposed to tell people that.
Fuck you. I'm going to dob you in. He's opened all of them.
Incorrect. I have not opened one. One of them has not to be opened
Good
yet.
for you.
Exactly.
Good for you.
I agree. Good for me. Anyway, Em, Let me reach over and grab them. I haven't opened it. See? Hang on. It's not open. This is an eBay purchase. All right, you ready, Em?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, catch.
That was a shitty
Look
throw.
at the mic.
Yes, that was a shitty throw.
All right. Well, it's never been opened before. So, Em, feel free to open up the package. Oh, it's a hard one to open by sounds of it. Woo.
Oh no, my slipper came off.
Not the slipper.
Oh no, the package.
Anything but the slipper.
Anything but the slipper. The package is. Look at that.
Hey, that was difficult. I know that was hard to do. All right, Em, what have you got? This is package number 1.
I don't know, Aaron. You tell us. What do we have?
I don't know. There we go. It is a 2017. I think it was a Clash jumper. The Adelaide Crows in 2017. They went bright yellow, and it is incredibly bright yellow.
Not as bright as your pink.
I didn't know what you were going to say there. This was, I think, the first time they used a Camry logo on the back, Camry sponsorship. And apparently, Em doesn't want to show it off too much.
Nice.
True. She's going to go and take some videos and photos of it, and then we'll be showing you them right now. So I don't know why I'm explaining that to you.
Exactly.
I think it's a great jumper. It's beautiful. It's different. I quite liked it actually, and that's why
What's
I
wrong
bought
with it?
Nothing. I really like it. The color of it is tremendous. It stood out really well, and the ISC material, the shiny material that it is, it just really suited it, and I think it's great. I actually much prefer it to the red that they're currently using as their Clash. I really don't like the red. It looks alright on field, but in hand I don't like it. Whereas in hand, this is tremendous. I love it. Great jumper. Thanks, Em.
No worries.
Let's go on to the next one. Nah, we won't do this one because this is actually one that isn't open yet. Oh yeah, okay, all right. Another one, not open. See, nothing, not open. All right, ready?
I laugh as if you throw it and it falls out.
What do you mean? I haven't opened it. All right, 3, 2, 1. That's a piss poor effort.
Deliberate.
All right, Em, package number 2. I haven't done enough research into this to tell you much about it. So it'll be a very quick show off and we'll move on. What?
It's thick.
Thick.
It's little.
I like how you keep going to like that way.
Yeah.
Because you think the camera's over there because that's where you're looking for the monitor, but it ain't there anymore. It is super little because it is an AFLW jumper.
Oh, it's a women's one.
It is a women's one.
Right.
Hence it's tiny. You'll notice something about it. It's a little bit different. It doesn't have the AFLW logo on it. It doesn't have the current AFLW sponsors. How could that be? This is actually a pre-AFLW jumper from when the Suns were announced. They wore this in a couple of practice games. Yeah, it's something very unique and very different. And I just thought it was super cool. I think it cost me like $20 off eBay. So
See, Matt, something that costs $20, unique, add it.
I think it's super unique. I don't know who wore it. No idea. It's not valuable because it's not AFLW. Not that the AFLW Gold Coast jumpers are valuable at the moment, but I think it's just something super cool that shows a bit of history of the AFLW Gold Coast club that not a lot of people will have, I reckon. Their sponsors on them are quite weird, but it actually looks kind of cool. All right, next is going to be the one that I haven't opened. 100%.
Right.
100% haven't opened it yet. I promise you. So I have not yet seen this. All right, Em, you ready?
Yeah, if you're going to throw it properly.
Well, probably not. All right. 3, 2, 1, catch.
Oh, Jesus.
Great throw. What are you talking about? All right, just going to take a little bit to open this one. So it's actually super tight. Super tight. Super tight.
Talking about the package, right?
I think I got the same look he does.
Hey?
Got the same look on my face that he does. All right, here he is. Em's struggling. I told you she'd struggle. Those bags are pretty solid.
Oh,
People-
it's another bag.
People actually ask me quite often that are these Australia Post parcels going to keep the jumpers protected from when like they get hit by weather
The
or
little plastic thing that comes when you rip it off. Don't rip it off and put it in the parcel and send it to us because I I hate these things.
Yeah, people always ask me if they're going to be strong enough or keep the parcels of the jumpers inside of them safe. So people do actually put them in other packages to keep them
Who
safe.
sent you this?
Another eBay purchase. But
Good
no,
lord.
those satchels are really, really good. They do keep the weather out, and they'll do the job. You don't
It's a
need 3
bag
packages.
inside of a bag inside of a bag.
All right, you may show this one off. Yep, beautiful. There you go. Number 21, Tasmanian Nab Cup jumper. I don't know anything about it other than it's a Tassie Devils jumper.
Oh, it stinks.
Oh.
Holy shit, that's BO so badly. I could smell it a mile away and I was like, nah, that's not me. That smells of BO.
Oh, good. So it's probably Matt's lawn. So that's pretty cool. I
Oh,
kind of
it's
thought it might
embedded
be.
in my nose.
Other than the fact that I don't know whose it is, I think it
It's
is
very
a
nice.
really cool jumper. Puma actually do make really nice
Feels
jumpers. So that's kind of why I bought it, because knowing that it's a Puma jumper, they actually make super high
Can
quality
you smell
stuff.
the BO? Surely it's like wafted over here.
Whew. Yeah, this is well worn indeed. That stinks. Something cruel. No stains on it, so that's a bit sad. But they didn't. I mean, the guy obviously wore it and he reeked, but he didn't get too dirty, so he didn't throw himself around very much. But yeah, I got a little bit caught up in the whole Tassie Devils and Tasmania coming to the AFL, and I wanted to add a Tasmania jumper to the collection, so there it is.
I read something apparently if there is a thing that they're not actually allowed to be called the Tasmanian Devils or something like that due to
Yeah, copyright
Looney Tunes
issues
type thing. Yeah.
So, but apparently that's been all worked
Oh,
out.
that stinks. You got to take that away from me. I can smell it.
That's all been worked out, and they are actually allowed to call them the Tassie Devils now. So,
Really? That's cool though.
yeah, very cool. Now, last package. Grab it for you.
That's nasty. That's going to make your whole thing. Oh, Erin, come on.
What? It's not been opened, Em. Joe, this was so hard to get back in the package. It doesn't even look close. All right, Em. This is a bit heavier, but here we go. 3, 2, 1. Whee!
Well,
Look at
that's
that.
solid, eh?
Yeah, it's solid. There's 2 jumpers in there. It's why it's so hard to get back in the packaging.
Fold them. That's why you just screwed them up.
Did fold them. I did fold them.
That's not
No, not anymore.
folded.
It's not. No. I folded them, tried to put them in there neatly. Nah, it just wouldn't work. So
Guarantee
I
I
just
can get them
started
back
shoving.
in there.
Nah. I just started shoving them because I couldn't get it back in. This is the last one for today. Big one for me because this continues to help me tick off some numbers off the 120 or 121, I believe, jumpers that the club has worn. I am now down to 6 with these 2 beauties.
My main man written on the front.
This one is a 2008 home jumper of Dean Solomon. Your main man who? Sorry, I don't actually remember who signed that.
Have.
Matthew Pavlich, and I think it's Reece Palmer signed the front as well. Reece Palmer being the 2008 Rising Star. There's a reason why he signed
I
that.
recognise Pav's signature a mile away.
Yep. And then the last one is a 2005 home jumper. You can tell that by... No point showing it anyway, because it's going to be video.
Because it's going to be a video, yeah.
So you can tell this is a 2005 one because of the Bankwest logo on front and back with a white background, and also the Reebok logo. And if you just show me, because I can't even remember what it looks like. Or not, don't show me, that's cool. Oh, well, thanks for that. I can't actually tell you what the difference is now. Appreciate that. Let me bring it up so I can... The RBK wording with the little logo next to it was on the 2005 jumper only. Thanks, Am.
The BO smell. That's disgusting.
Thank you and shout out to Matt Harvey for those jumpers. I appreciate you doing the trade with me. I know you got something good in return, and I also got something good that helps me out with the collection. There's 6 left, just 6 to go, and I know where one more is. So, unfortunately, there are 5 jumpers out there that I need that I have no clue where they are.
You don't know where
they are. Yeah, fingers crossed I can get to there before we need them. Hint. Thanks again. That was Mail Day, Em. Hopefully you enjoyed Mail Day.
No, no.
And thank you, Andy, for allowing us to use your little snippet. Not that you had a choice. We just use it anyway. No royalties for you. Not that we get any. All right, Mail Day is done. Now we're going to talk about the auctions. There has been an incredible amount end, so I'm not going to talk about them all. But we'll bring up the first ones. What have we got here? So we'll start with North Melbourne. They just sold their home jumpers on auction recently, which ended, I think, on Thursday as well. Harry Sheasel, the Cheese.
Geez, he looks real young, doesn't he?
He is real young. Yep, he's a rookie, first season. His jumper went for $1,550. That was the most expensive. And the cheapest was Aiden Bonner, ex-GWS player, went for $100. These jumpers cost about that to make.
That's insane.
So I don't know if Aiden Bonner actually played a game this year, but if he did, then you would have got a match-worn signed jumper for $100, which is incredibly cheap. There were also a few others, about 125 to 150. So the North jumper auction went for super cheap. Then we've got the Hawthorn retro auction, which ended a week or two ago. Now, James Sicily was the most expensive, and something they did was really cool was put up the picture. Now, I was talking earlier about how I believe someone from OM might actually be watching our show or paying attention, because you had a bit of a rant, not a rant, but a bit of a suggestion for official memorabilia when we talked about it earlier, how you said that you should be putting up pictures of the actual jumper worn.
Yeah.
So people will actually see what they're bidding on. Now, it's extremely important when a player wears a long sleeve jumper that they know that they're bidding on that long sleeve jumper. And that's what they've done here. They've put up the picture of James Sicily wearing that jumper, and they're telling you that this is what you're going to get. And as a result, unsurprisingly, people bid high for it because of that reason.
Insane.
So it went for $3,925, which is a huge amount for a Hawks jumper when a club has finished 15th on the ladder. Or 16th.
It also just kind of like shows people that, like, look, hey, he did actually wear this. Like,
yeah. Yep.
yeah.
So well done, OM. You did well here. And as a result, you make some really good money. And then the cheapest of this incredible retro jumper, I think I might have talked about it before, not being a bit disappointing because it wasn't the Blue Diamond, but seeing it on field and then in this auction, I think it looks great.
Did they have the watermarks on them?
Yeah. So that watermark was the same watermark that they wore in 1999. So really cool that they added that feature. But I think this jumper looks actually great now that we've seen it on the players and on the auction platform. And this was the cheapest, Ned Long, at $250. I did get one, so I am waiting for one of these to arrive.
In a box.
God knows how long it's going to be. I think it's in a box. Can't remember. But $29 for a box is unbelievable.
It's getting a bit much.
The funny thing is...
Is there an option to buy it without the box?
No, there isn't. So they don't give you an option at all to buy it without the box and have cheaper postage. Now, the funny thing about that is, we'll talk about this now, is the FREO'S Dockers retro auction just ended as well. Ended on Thursday.
Look, using a picture again.
Yep. So they did this with
It's not the most flattering picture either.
Every single FREO player that wore this retro jumper, except one. They for some reason couldn't find a picture of Carl Warner. Could ask me, I would have given you the one in the locker room. Anyway, every single one of them had a picture of the player wearing the jumper. And as a result, the retro auction for FREO went nuts. Absolutely nuts. I believe it probably outdid last year's one, which was on the old FREO platform, which I think was a little bit of a surprise, but people were a little bit more ready for this one, being that the previous one didn't do too well because I don't think people knew it was coming. But this one also came with the match-worn shorts and socks as well. So you got the jumper, shorts, and socks, which is really, really cool. Bailey Banfield's was the cheapest at $625, which is pretty cheap, really, for a retro, but also it's quite high for any sort of club auction at the moment. And then the highest M, they come out of nowhere, was Lockie Schultz at $1,775. He was not bad. I say not bad. He was good in this game. He had 27 or 28 disposals. He did get a lot of the footy. wasn't as damaging as he was against West Coast when he kicked 5 goals, but still had a very good game.
Mm.
But this came out of absolutely nowhere because we were sitting in the cinemas, and I had basically said to you that I'm not getting one. I'm out.
Mm.
And I looked just one last time as the movie had started, and Lockie was sitting at $725. And I thought, I can't let this go. If it's going to go this cheap, I have to give it a crack. There was 2.5 minutes left on the auction, $725.
Mm.
I chucked on a bid, was outbid immediately, tried one more time at about 900, got outbid immediately. All right, I'm out now. It wasn't until last night that I was looking at this and went back and saw that auction must have kept going for some time because it jumped to $1,775.
So that was a bit of a bidding war.
Unbelievable. Yeah, certainly was a bidding war. $1,775 for Shooter. Until very recently, as a matter of fact, 2 or 3 weeks ago, he was on a rookie contract. So a bit of a surprise, but a very well worthwhile surprise as well. So congratulations to Shooter on being the highest jumper bidded on. Now, the tremendous retro Port Adelaide jumpers that we were talking about last week.
It actually looks really good in a box. I really like that
Mm.
in the box. That looks good.
Oh, hang on. I have to go back here because I didn't mention the fact that Freo, on the last auction where you got the box and it cost you $29 for postage, as we were just talking about.
Yeah.
This time, they didn't do that because last time they told the club had to pay for those boxes.
Mm.
So it was costing the club $60. So the
Yeah.
club said, nah, not doing that this time. Just put it in what they call a pillow, which is literally just a packing envelope, essentially, and send it out like that. They probably thought that was going to save people money because people did have a bit of a whinge that it was costing $29 postage. So they thought, well, it's going to cost club less. It'll hopefully save some dollars for the people buying as well. Win-win for everybody. Nope. Still $29 postage. It's essentially going in a satchel, just a hard satchel.
At that point, you might as well just have the freaking box.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. If I'm paying the same price, I might as well just get the box. So that annoyed me, even though I didn't actually end up with one. Didn't actually mention that either. I didn't get one at all. And it's the first auction I haven't won anything from. I can't even tell you when. Probably since I started collecting. I don't think I've actually missed out on an auction. So that actually really hurt. But health comes first. And I'd had to use that money for something else that I require for health reasons. So sadly, I missed out on this auction, but I will be back. And hopefully we'll pick one up at the locker room sale because I'll be devastated if that doesn't happen. And I ended up with nothing at all from their lovely retro they had. Now back to the Port Adelaide one, as we were talking about previously. This is the one they wore a couple of weeks ago, and what a beauty it is. And as you said, it looks great in that box. And amazingly, quite a few of these jumpers went quite cheap.
Right.
So $400 was the cheapest, but there was a handful around this price, $400 to $425. I was shocked. With about 20 odd minutes to go, there was a heap of them at $300, which I believe was around about that minimum. So I'd said to a couple of people, I said, you should probably get on this because I think we said on the episode last week that we were no chance of getting one because they're going to go insane. So the higher end players certainly did go insane. There were actually a number of them go for $3,000 plus. But then there were some lower ones that didn't go quite as insane. So I also got one. So I paid $425, I think, for mine.
Yeah.
Well, no, I actually paid $400. So there were, like I said, there was a bunch of $400.
Oh, so you bought one?
I'd bought one. Yeah.
Okay.
So I paid the $29.
The shame of buying a Port Adelaide retro but not getting a Freo retro. The shame.
You could say that, but it was actually far cheaper than the Freo auction.
And I mean, it's still a part of the collection. So
yeah. So I think I'm actually stoked to get one of these because I didn't expect that it would happen. Didn't think there would be a chance that we'd pick one up.
I feel like Port Adelaide stuff's really hard to get a hold of too.
Yeah, it is. It's always very expensive. So the good thing is they all kind of want those higher mid-tier players, and then the lower-end players, people they don't really care as much about, and you're a chance. So that's how we managed to pick this up. So I bid it at $400, so it cost me $469 with all the fees and the shipping, and It gets expensive. And then the most expensive was Zach Butters, $3,675. And like I said, there was multiple over $3,000 as well. So they still did
That's
very
a
well.
lot as well for just 16 bids.
It is, yeah.
So they were like, these people were bidding big.
Yeah.
They weren't just bidding in the interval things. They were bidding big.
Yeah, so they also have this new feature, which I don't like it. It's just weird in the way they word it. It's called a bully bid. And as soon as you log into the auction, you look at the auctions, they'll come up with a notification. We have this new feature. It's called the bully bid. I get it, but I think on eBay or whatever, I don't know if they do it anymore actually. But you've got proxy bid, which is your max bid, and it will bid up for you.
Yeah.
And they've still got that on OM. But then you used to be able to do it on eBay. I'm not sure you can anymore, but you could put your max bid, but it would bid immediately to that value. So that's what this bully bid is. But they've done actually a little bit cheeky thing here. On these retro auctions that just ended, the Port Adelaide one and a few others, the Hawk, etc., they had the bully bid at the top and then your max bid at the bottom. For the FREO one and the current ones, I think, I haven't checked them, they actually switched them around. So the max bid was at the top and the bully bid was at the bottom. Caught a few people out. They were bidding their bully bid by accident because they were trying to bid their max bid and haven't bid up. So let's just say that they had a jumper that was at $100 and they thought, I could spend up to $1,000 on it. So they put that max bid at $1,000, but they've put it in the bully bid part. So immediately it's gone straight to $1,000 as the first bid.
Okay.
So it's a bit cheeky that they've done that, and it caught a few people out. And chances are they've overpaid for these jumpers because they've done that.
They didn't realise, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so cheeky way of doing it. I get why they've done it because it probably doesn't help them, as a matter of fact, OM, unless they're trying to get people caught out like this. In the fact that if they get someone to bid so high that it just drives everybody else away, they're just going to miss out on potential other bids because they're just driving other people away because people are willing to spend this much money straight away. So I don't know. It's an interesting tactic from them, but I just don't like the wording bully bid either. It's in a day and age where bullying is not a thing that is encouraged, to have something called a bully bid just sounds a bit weird to me.
Yeah, it's just kind of sound like put a bid in that's going to almost bully people into just not wanting to bid.
Exactly. And that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I just don't like the wording of it. Which
it could be
it's a bit
something
PC
else.
of me, but we're in that day and age now.
Yeah, it could be something else.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think they might end up changing that, but we'll see what happens. Also, so that's what I've seen ended recently. There are a bunch of auctions up right now as well.
What?
And one thing I want to mention
What is that?
is this jumper.
Seatbelt.
It's a seat belt. I think I've shown you it before, and I'm actually surprised that this didn't make it on your or our worst ever jumper list. The wide sash actually made it ahead of this, but this is probably one of the jumpers that people think is the worst of all time because it is a seatbelt.
Someone paid $1,500 for that?
No, that was the first day of bidding.
Oh my lord!
It's an Anthony McDowell Tipper Woody, so it is his last ever game jumper. So that makes sense. But yes, so they decided to bring back the seatbelt jumper.
Why is it a seatbelt?
Well, so originally they did this because they were promoting
Fasten up.
People fasten up, put on a seatbelt, be safe. I didn't
That's
expect
so tacky.
I don't think anyone expected it to come back. It just came out of nowhere.
That's so tacky.
But I guess you could almost call this their retro because it just came out of nowhere.
It's tacky.
It's something they wore years ago. I'll put up the year they wore originally, and they brought it back for this last game of the season. I mean, really, it's a buckle up, Essendon fans, because you're in for another terrible ride. Unfortunately, they got your hopes up this year and then brought it back down to earth really fast with how shit they were in the last 6-7 weeks. It's a sad time to be a Bombers fan, I think. But also a sad jumper. But again, it's going to be another one of those cult classic type things, and people are going to love it and they're going to bid high. So we'll see what happens. They're currently up for auction, so we'll see what happens with them.
Bit tacky.
Very tacky indeed.
I don't think I like that.
There's a huge amount of auctions up right now. They've got the Essendon seatbelt. You've got the West Coast retirees jumpers are all up, worn throughout the year this year. I think there might be a couple that were worn on the last game today. Then you've got all the West Coast First Nations warm-up tops. So the Indigenous warm-up tops are all on there. So a few West Coast Eagles things for people this year, which is good. You got the Adelaide home, gather round, and away jumpers. Funny, actually, that people were actually asking about the gather round jumpers and if they would actually be auctioning them. Here you are. They're all on OM right now. Amazing looking jumper. We'll have to keep an eye on that because I'd love to pick one of those up as well. You could say that is Adelaide's retro jumper as well. And then you got the Hawthorn home jumpers and a few of their training jumpers as well, which is quite weird, but Hawthorn just seems to be throwing everything that they've been wearing at the moment onto auction. So good for Hawks fans that they're having an opportunity to pick up something from their club from this year. And quite a few of them. They put up some random stuff a couple of weeks ago as well. They had old stuff on there from 2012 and onwards. So that was quite weird to see, but no doubt fantastic for Hawks fans. They would love seeing all that stuff come up for auction. That is the auction stuff we're going to talk about because no doubt in the coming weeks, now the season is currently over for
There'll
8
be
clubs.
much more.
10 clubs. Then there will be a heap of stuff coming up for those clubs as well. So keep an eye out for those. Make sure you're checking your team's socials as well as their auction page, whichever they use. Check OM official memorabilia because chances are they'll have everybody on there at some point. Looks like they have got Freo for good now by the looks. So chances are your club will also be on there as well, and everybody eventually will be on there. Good or bad thing, I guess we'll wait and see. But I will give them credit. They have done much, much better. They are doing a decent job of it at the moment. We'll have to wait and see how quickly they get these other jumpers out that have been won. Like I said, I've got a bunch of jumpers that I've won off official memorabilia that I'm still waiting for. I did get the West Coast and Freo one fairly quickly, though. So hopefully the other ones come pretty quickly as well. Yeah, we'll move on from the auction jumpers. And we've got 2 segments left for today's episode. This one is viewer questions, which Em has in front of her and she will read out. Yeah, there's quite a few. So
Yeah.
here we go.
Well, we'll start with Doug Slater.
So you're gonna read this in your own order.
Yep.
All right, I put it in order for a reason, but anyway.
Did you?
It doesn't matter.
Why?
No, it doesn't matter. Move on. You can read it however you like.
It's my viewer questions.
Okay, yep, that's fair.
Is cereal soup? Please discuss.
Fair reason to start that off as a number one question. No, Doug. Yeah, it was Doug, wasn't it?
Yes.
Cereal soup, no, because I wouldn't eat it.
Hear me out.
Oh.
Cereal can turn into soup.
How?
You leave it too long and it goes soggy.
Okay,
and then it's
all right,
practically
so
soup.
I'm talking about Wheat Bix here, right? So then I'm assuming this is probably what you're talking about too.
No, just complex Wheat Bix. How now, brown cow?
How can you possibly say that this stuff made of wheat, which yes gets soggy and awful, and is chunky?
Mm-hmm.
I guess you can have chunky soup.
You can have chunky soup.
I don't like chunky soup though, so as far as I'm concerned, I'll stay away from that. But I'd eat soggy Wheat Bix, no worries. I don't mind soggy Wheat Bix. Soggy cornflakes kind of suck, but you still eat them. But I'm not eating chunky soup, and I'm not a fan.
I love a good chunky soup.
Yeah, pea and ham soup maybe. I'll give you that. That's all right. But I prefer pumpkin soup, something bit easier to eat, a bit more soupy. So no, I'm going to say cereal. No, it is not soup. Never will be. Give me a good Wheat Bix or a chocolate milkshake, aka Cocoa Pops, any day. But eat those as quickly as possible because they're fantastic when they're hard. Not so good when they have been sitting there for a bit. When they get soggy and more soup-like. Thanks, Doug. Great question. It's the hard questions here on the Playerish Podcast Cave Sessions.
So it's funny that we had a question from Doug Slater because we've actually got Doug.
Doug, also known as Dermot.
Can we have a collaboration with Scoops already?
Hell no. And I'll tell you a little story. I actually reached out to Scoops.
When?
Yep. I reached out to him, I think it would have been the off season. And I said to him that he does get a little bit of a rough trot. If you'd like to come on the show and just be normal, and just come on the show and just speak.
And
And
my wife can wax your eyebrows.
just do our show, and we'll interview him, and he can just be a normal human being.
We'll even get him out a camp chair. We can remove my chair and put a camp chair here for
Well,
him.
anyway, I sent him the question, and then he sent me back, "Who are you? What is your show?" I was like, "Oh, okay." So I sent him a video, and I just said, "We talk about player issue and match worn jumpers, just fans of the footy, just have a good time." He sent back, "Not interested." That was it. Flat, not interested. Oh no, actually, hang on, I missed something here. Before he asked, I said not interested. He said, "How much are you going to pay me to come on the show?" I had a very good chuckle at that. And then he said not interested. At that point, I was like, "You bastard, you beat me to it," because I wanted to say, "I'm not interested in having you on. You stuck-up piece of shit who everyone just watches because they want to laugh at you, not with you, because you're a dick." No, Doug, aka Dermot, we will never have Scooch on this show.
He's fucking wicked.
The fact that he even gets airtime on here is amazing, and he doesn't deserve it at all because he is an absolute dickhead.
Speaking of dickhead, do you have something to bring up about Dave Causey about it? Don't be a dick.
Yes, we will get to Dave Causey's Don't
Just
Be a
in
Dick.
case you forgot. Alex Scott, would you ever kick a torp with the Marmalade guys?
Absolutely. I actually think I can kick a decent torp. And I actually love watching the Marmalade guys kick their torps with whoever they can get to do it. I think the best one was probably with the CEO. Forgotten his name for some reason right now, but the CEO of the AFL, getting him to do one, fantastic. And if we have an opportunity to do so, would love to do it. Let's see what happens, because at this point in time, we are hopeful of coming to Adelaide for Gather Round next year in April. If we can get everybody to gather around and have a good time with all of us together, all meet up, catch up, have a big meet up for all the collectors, would be amazing. And if the Marmalade boys want to kick a torp with us, we'd love to do it. I reckon I can kick a pretty decent torp. If I get down to a good one, 60 plus. If I don't, it's a roller. So we'd love to do it. Give us a shout out if you want to see us do it. Marmalade lads, you know where to find us. You've tagged us in a few videos, so we would
really?
Yeah. We would love to join you in a torp. Gather Round would be the perfect location. Let's see if we can do that. That would be great. So thanks, Alex. Great question. I think that's probably the first non-WWE questions actually asked, in a timely fashion too. Good question.
Matt Harvey, which I fully expect this question from Matt Harvey, is retro auction, full stop, prices, full stop, in capital letters. What the fuck? Full stop.
Yep. I think it surprised a lot of people and it went insane. Great jumper. And I'm not in the boat that this is the best retro one we've had. Oh, I don't even know what the best. I think the 3D Anchor is probably best. Then maybe the way that we wore in 21 was probably second best. And then this one was pretty great. But a funny story is all the jumpers that they've been using for each retro round have come from the cave. So the cave has given Freo the jumpers to use, the original jumpers that is, to use to get all the details correct. They still change them a little bit, unfortunately, but they use our jumpers to match them up as best as possible. And so the one that M wore, the long sleeve Brad Bootsma, was the jumper that was used for the long sleeve jumper that James Ace wore on the weekend. So there you go, fun fact. But yeah, no, incredible. They went nuts. I guess it was to be expected, but I was actually a little bit surprised because I thought people would run out of money at that point. But it seems that everybody was just saving their pennies for that auction.
For the
So I agree, Matt. I'm glad you got Hayden Young's, and I got nothing. Congrats. Thanks, Sam.
Next is from Blake Cook. Good to see this has made a comeback. So if you were stuck in a desert, you have 3 jumpers from your collection that you can take with you. Sell one, trade one, burn one. Make sure they are all top shelf locker jumpers.
Well, I'm glad he's got away from the fire because he used to bring up questions about if there's
Fire
a
all
fire
the
and
time.
caves burning down.
Hey, I think he got away from it because he felt bad. If we ever had a fire, he'd be like, "Oh my God, I've jinxed him." It was me.
So now I have to take 3 top shelf jumpers. So I guess I have to actually legitimately pick 3 top shelf jumpers.
You burn
So-
one. Keep. What is it?
Burn one, keep one. Was it? Did I
Trade
get? Did I get to
one.
keep one? Sell one.
Sell one, trade one, burn one.
So I don't even get to keep one.
No.
That's messed up.
No.
Sell one, burn one,
Trade
one. Now I asked the question: who the hell am I trading to if we're on a deserted island?
And Doug.
And what the hell am I trading for?
Doug said he'd trade.
Doug's going to meet us there.
Yeah.
So good on you, Doug. I guess we'll go. The top 3 will be the 2010 Ben Cousins Richmond jumper, match worn. The 1997 Robert Harvey long sleeve match worn jumper. And I'll go the 1995 Craig Callahan away match worn Freo jumper. Probably my top 3, I guess. Again, that changes all the time, but we'll go those 3. So, this is... He asked for 3 top shelves, so that's what I've done, and that makes it incredibly difficult. So, burn, sell, trade. I guess I would sell the Robert Harvey because it's worth the most, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I will trade the Ben Cousins. I'm not sure what I'm trading for, but if it's tickets back off this deserted island, then fantastic. Thanks, Doug.
You're trading to Doug, yeah.
He's got the tickets back home. So well done, Doug. You've got yourself a 2010 Richmond Ben Cousins jumper. And we're heading back home without these 3 great jumpers. So I guess I'm burning, and that hurts my soul a little bit, but I'm burning the 95 Craig Callahan match worn away jumper. And I have a reason for that. It's quite thick acrylic wool type material, so I think it will burn quite well, so it will keep us warm for a longer period of time.
Hey, when you say we, you act as if I'm on this desert island. That wasn't the question.
Are you not there with me? I'm sure you're there with me. You have to be.
Nah, didn't say I was, so I'm not.
Oh, good. It's keeping me warm then. There you go. Blake, I'm surprised I actually answered that question legitimately. Thanks for that. Em, is that it?
That's it.
That's all the questions
That
for today.
is it.
Therefore, we're on to our finals. No, hang on.
No.
Well, so we do have a question. We do have a query from Dave that he wants. He actually wanted to remain anonymous on this, so kind of burnt him on that. But we'll go with it. Help me find the message.
Oh, we can just.
No, we can, but no, probably not because it's too hard.
No,
now.
well, every time we say his name when you edit the podcast, just put a beep.
Okay, so I got this message. I think it was while we were actually doing the show a couple of weeks ago or last week. So I won't say. No, I will. You know what, Dave? We're sharing it.
But you need to keep blurring out.
Well, maybe. We'll see. He says, "Hi, mate. Love for you to bring this up on the podcast next time. Don't want to name..." Oh, there you go. So he said, "Don't want my name to it." And don't want to shame this person he's talking about. But this is an example of time wasters and it does his head in. So it doesn't just do his head in. It does a lot of people's head in, which is why we're going to stick with his name. Said person puts up a wanted post and says, "Happy with anything. People go out of their way to provide photos, DMs, etc. Only to be told, nah, I was only looking for such and such player and only want to spend lowball amount of money." So let's say someone puts up a tremendous jumper. Just off the top of my head, I'll just say a West Coast Eagles Nick Nat Nui. Just keep on topic. It says, "Interested in trading for anything. Give me offers." And a bunch of people start messaging and saying, "I've got this for offer, got this, got that." And then this person turns around and says, "Oh, no, I'm only after a West Coast jumper of Shannon Hearn." But he said in his post, "I'm after anything, any player, any team, doesn't matter. Send through what you got." So all these people are wasting their time. And then he says, "Oh, but I'm interested in your jumper, but I'll give you bugger all for it." So they're just wasting everybody's time. And it's happening a lot. And he even says that it's happening a lot. So he's actually said, "I've stopped commenting on posts like that for a reason. I think it fits into the don't be a dick category." So, and that is his rant over. Thank you, Dave, for your rant.
Stop saying.
His name's stuck in here now. but I didn't mention who his post was about. But it's not just one person. It happens a lot. So don't do that. I mean, if you put up a post saying you are interested in trading your jumper for anything, then legitimately have a look at anything. You can quite happily say, oh, no, not really something that I want. But doesn't mean that you should just bollocks and say that you're willing to have a look at anything when you're quite clearly not. Just tell the truth up front.
Someone did that to you, didn't they? You were trying to trade something and they were like, oh, I'm only interested in hats.
Nah, well, that's different because he wasn't even selling something. So I approached him. So that's a different story.
Okay,
I
right.
approached
No,
this
no,
person.
I got my lines crossed and I thought
But it has happened to me before as
Mm.
well. I've had people say that they've got this jumper and they'll be willing to look at anything Geelong or a certain club, and then I send them through something from that club, and he goes, "Oh no, I'm looking for a higher end player." Just say that. If you put in your post, "I'm after a high end player," or here's some examples of what I'm after, then you stop people wasting their time.
I think you also hate when someone puts up a jumper and goes, and you'll go, oh, is it for sale? Yes. And you're like, what do you want for it? And they're like, make me an offer. And you're like, just tell me what you want for it. Because I'm going to give you, say, $300 and you're going to go, no, I want $800. Just say, cool, I want $800 for it. And then you can go from there. But I hate, when they're like, oh, make me an offer. Because you know that they're going to say no to the offer you say anyway. So why say it? Just be like, I want $800 for it.
Yeah. That's funny is I did a post yesterday. I put something up for 500. It was actually a tip from Woody jumper. And I didn't even think at the time that it was his retirement day, that this is his last game.
Yeah.
Honestly, it just slipped my mind that it was happening. I just said, I need a little bit of money for some certain things. I've had this jumper for 4 years. It's a good jumper. People will want it. I'll chuck it up and see what happens. I put it up for 500 or nearest offer. Not only did I get a bunch of shit about putting the jumper up for sale on the day that he's retiring, but I mean, there were some stupid comments. One of the comment was, it was deleted instantly by the admin, but it was along the lines of course, of all days, you sell it now, you cockroach or something like that. And I just said, mate, the dude's not dead. He's just retiring. It's a different story if he had passed away. I put up a jumper for sale. Then yes, I totally understand the feedback and the criticism. But the guy's retiring. People quite often get a little bit of nostalgia or excitement that their player is retiring and they want a piece to take with them.
Yeah, want to find something of
So
it.
I was just putting that up inadvertently on the day he retired, but putting that up, someone might see that and go, oh yeah, I really want that. But I wasn't being a pillock and selling something of someone who just died. I could understand that. But anyway, the guy was a twat. He then said it was fake because the AFL tag he claimed was fake. What a tosser. But the admins just got rid of him and booted him anyway. But what an idiot. Don't even remember where I was going with this. Oh yeah, so I had that for $500, and then I was copying a whole bunch of shit for putting up for 500, even though I said or nearest offer, because honestly, if someone had offered me 400, I would have just taken it. But I wasn't 100% sure if I'd be screwing myself over or screwing someone else over, so I just thought, all right, I'll put or nearest offer instead of saying, give me offers, because then I'll waste people's time sending me offers of 100, 200, whatever, and then saying, no, I'm looking for much more than that. Well, just give me a goddamn price, because I'd be one of those people. So now, then I said, stuff it. I was going to put taking offers because I'm copying all this shit, putting up 500. So I put taking offers. Someone then says 450. I was like, you want it? It's yours. Done. That was easy. And then he says, if you do 300, you got a deal. I was like, what is the point of sending me an offer if you were never intending on going through with it? So I was like, oh, this is why I don't do offers, because you get idiots like this. So, yeah, anyway, not even sure what that had to do with what we were talking about, what Dave was talking about. I guess it sort of segues a little bit into the social media posts. And if you have something in mind, let the people know. Don't be a dick. Don't waste people's time. Just tell people what you want. And
also, going off slightly from what you were saying as well, but same. Like, when people pass away, don't see it as a money opportunity. Like, at least give it a month before you decide to sell something. Like, it's still going to hold its value. because obviously that person's not going to be around anymore. But how would you feel if your mum died and I went, oh, actually, I've got a crockery pot in the cupboard. She's just passed away. This is unique. I'm going to put it up for top dollar. Like, that would fucking suck.
Mm.
So don't do it. Like, just, let the people mourn the loss of their family member or whoever it is. And then, if you want to make some money off it, that's fine. It's your item. But, like, at least give it some time. Like, don't do it straight away. Bray Wyatt's only just died and some dick put a belt up straight away. Like, come on. Like,
there's 2 of these belts on eBay right now for $1,000 plus.
Yeah.
Which is crazy money.
When Kobe died, it was like picture central. Like, just everyone was like, oh, I've got this signed Kobe picture. Oh, I've got this signed Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant, sorry, I was confused what you're talking about then. But
like when
they come out
Kobe
with
died,
this, yeah.
everyone was just like, oh, I've got this picture. And when Steve Irwin died, people did it and stuff. Shane Warne. And, like, just be a bit respectful. Like, just, give it a bit of time before you sell it. It's not going to go down in value. Yes, we understand it's worth some money because now that person's never going to sign anything ever again, but just be a little bit,
Yeah.
like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard one because, like you said, it's their item and they could sell it, I guess, whenever they want. But morally, is it the right thing to do?
Not days after their
No.
death.
And then I had that situation where Shane Yarron passed away 4 years ago, I think now, 4 or 5 years ago. And I'd held on to a piece of his for a long time because I didn't think any time was the right time to sell it. And eventually when I decided I really just don't need this piece of my collection anymore, it's been long enough, I put it up for sale. And then one of the relatives wanted it. Again, morals come into play. I can't ask for money off the relative of somebody that it honestly belongs to. So they ended up getting it for free. So I wasn't out to make money off of it.
No.
So, okay, we're not telling you how to make money
But just timing is everything. Like, timing is everything. And like I said, Bray Wyatt died, 2 days ago? Not even that.
Yeah,
And
1 day ago, yeah.
And bang, stuff's on thing. And like I said, as soon as Shane Warne died, it was like my newsfeed on Facebook was flooded with, sign Shane Warne this. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, just give it a bit of time. Like, yeah, like, it's just wrong.
Yep. Yeah, we'll move on. But thanks, Dave, for bringing that up. Yeah, I'll keep saying your name. Your name's in it now. Too bad.
I tried. I told him not to, but here we are.
But no, Dave, honestly, anyone who thinks that Dave's having a whinge here, he's not. There are a lot of people that think this exact thing. Dave's just put his name to it, or he said to me, this needs to be brought up on the show, because I agree with it.
Dave said, don't put his name to it, and all you've done is put his name to it.
Yeah, I agree, which is why I've just said, Dave's not alone in this. So, yeah, just honestly, it all comes down
to
in this
time
hobby.
Waster.
Don't be a dick. Is that 2 Don't Be a Dicks today? I think it is, isn't it? You had a Don't Be a Dick earlier.
I did, yes.
Yeah. Well, there you go. All right, thanks, Dave. Appreciate that. We're going to move on now because the show's getting quite long. Said his name again. Last segment today, Em, is What's in the Cave. Woo, let's jump over to the wheel. There. Oh, it's not spitting, Em.
By the way, your chocolate is extremely melted.
Oh no, my chocolate. It is hot in here. It is cooked. A little colours. Not the wheel. The wheel is very colourful.
It's very beautiful today, isn't it?
The camera's fantastic.
And so you were nitpicking me for picking a pink thing.
Yeah, well, it matches now, doesn't it?
See, it must be me. Like, I've colour coordinated everything here. You're welcome.
Oh, the wheel's spinning. I didn't even do it. Oh, no, it's not spinning.
Nah, you fucked it.
Oh, no, what happened?
Nah.
All right, anyway, let's get the wheel going. Did I get the right wheel? I got the right wheel. Okay, here we go. Those of you who don't know what we're doing, we're spinning the wheel. Em's going to go get that number that it correlates to out of the locker, count from 1 to that number, and we'll pull it out and we'll have a quick chat about it. And then we'll move on. End the show. Em, what have we got today?
Oh, no. Oh, God, I saw my life flash before my eyes then.
We don't even know what this is. It could be a no number again. Bradley McLeod.
No.
Number 25. I don't like it. We continue with the low numbers.
Don't like it.
We continue with the low numbers and another Freo jumper. We'll be back very shortly when M counts to 25. All right. Emma's found number 25. Just singing Pauline Hanson. Just don't like it. Non-stop.
I just don't like it.
Looking very good in the retro jacket there too, by the way. The rear end looked quite good too.
The jacket we're talking about.
yeah,
here,
of course. The Hard Yakka logo on the back, of course. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. Em, show us jumper number 25. Apologies again, another Freo jumper. And again, that's another 2005 jumper. Now, you might ask, why is the background not white like you said on the 2005 home jumper? Well, because it is a white jumper. So they have a blue background for the Bankwest logo this time. And there it is again, that RBK logo plus the actual logo for Reebok. Both in that position in the sponsor's logo. Em, you may turn it around.
Crazy. I didn't realise, like, when Bankwest took over recently and everyone was like, Bankwest, meh. I actually forgot we used to be Bankwest.
Mhm.
I could forget it, yeah.
Yeah. It'd be really cool if the colour coordinator was the same as it was back then.
Orange is a bit much, but
Orange is a lot, but I don't know, I've grown to love it. This, as you can see, the number font is very thick for those 2005 jumpers. Very, very thick indeed. Number 36. Number 36 was Andrew Brown. And as you can see, no AFL logos in the numbers because that didn't come along until 2007. The double Bank West logo, front and back, which was only done in 2005. Maybe 2004 as well. Double check that. I'll put up a little asterisk as I do. But yeah, 2005 Clash jumper of Andrew Brown, Fremantle Doggers. On topic today, I guess. Continues with the retro theme. That is it, Em. We're done at exactly 1 o'clock in the morning.
not bad. Got tomorrow off.
Got tomorrow off, thank God. Good sleep in.
Lunch with the boys.
Lunch with the lads. We're going out for burgers. It should be a good time. Thank you for joining us on this special episode today. It was a long one. Apologies for that. I actually expected it to be a short one, but every time we expect it, we are very wrong. So thank you. Hopefully you got through the beginning of the show without too many tears. We tried. We failed.
Miserably.
Thanks for joining me, Em. Hope you had a good time. It's very hot in here. I can't wait to get out
I
of
put
it.
a heater on to 28 degrees
It's
and now
Cooking.
I think it's beautiful, but now the chocolate's melted. Like, it's mushy.
The West Coast jumper looks pretty good next year, so it's growing. Definitely growing.
I'm glad you like my jumper.
Good luck, Australian Boomers, in the World Cup. Hopefully you continue having a win. And again, signing off with rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. You'll be sorely missed by all wrestling fans and, of course, your family and friends worldwide. So, thanks, Em, for shedding tears on the show.
Thanks for making me cry.
Thank you again. We'll see you next week on another episode of the Player Issue Podcast. Don't forget to drop a comment, a like, and subscribe to the show. And we will see you next week. Please shed us all your feedback. If you've got some memories of Bray Wyatt, share them with us as well. We'd love to hear them. Signing off. Thank you very much. Sayonara. Adios. Goodbye.